It's a pleasure to be here with you. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Keiser, and I'm Chancellor of Keiser University. And it is my distinct privilege to welcome you today to our beautiful flagship campus. We're honored to have you here to share with us this exciting day to learn more about our vision to build an aquatic center and Olympic pool here at our flagship campus. The facility will become a community and state resource to so many. As we celebrate this effort, please know we are very grateful for the wonderful support we are receiving from the community and from many other organizations in Florida. There are many people I'd like to recognize today, starting with our honored guest, Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Munoz, and our State Fire Marshal, Julius Haas. I'd like to welcome everybody to look to the stage so we can have the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For more than 4 decades, Keiser University has and continues working side by side with all of you to build the talent needed for Florida's workforce and to create jobs that are critical to Florida's economy. In fact, just recently, U.S. News and World Report recognized us as #1 in the state of Florida and #11 in the United States for social mobility among all major universities in the country. A statistic that we are extremely proud of. Keiser is the largest independent, private, not-for-profit university in the state of Florida, and our commitment has always been to deliver quality education to our students and to the state of Florida. We're pleased to be able to make an investment in the community and in our athletic programs with the creation of this aquatic center. Our flagship campus has a proud tradition of athletics, even though it's short for us. The Seahawks have won an impressive 11 NAIA national championships, including 3 this past year. What's really interesting about it is 3 women's programs, our soccer, our lacrosse, and our golf women's team, each won national champions. This year, our student athletes were also recognized for their commitment on the field and in the classroom by earning the coveted Learfield Cup, which recognizes the best athletic programs in the country for competition, quality of character of students, and classroom outcomes. That's our Learfield Cup. The Learfield Cup is only given to one university or college in the NAIA. There are 250 colleges that compete. One in NCAA Division I, which is won by the University of Texas, and one in NCAA Division II. So it is really a very important and impressive distinction that our flagship campus has earned. And today, immediately following the completion of the Olympics, which we just finished, we're joined in the celebration of honoring men and women who bring joy and honor to our country. We have the support of 2 very well-known Olympians, swimmers Dara Torres and swimmer Rowdy Gaines. And we have a special message for you from Rowdy Gaines. You can't hear it.
Could IT help us with this?
James, you can't hear it. That's happened to me every time I do a presentation. And my son says I have no technology. So, and I'm demonstrating that today. You think you got it? Or maybe we'll save it for later. But this, and this is what's so exciting, is that we have support from the swimming community for this project. At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to welcome the many special guests who have joined us today. Every child a swimmer, which was a bill that we worked hard to get passed in the state legislature. The 2 sponsors, Senator Lori Berman From Florida, Representative Jim Mooney. Oh, I didn't see you come in. A friend, a good friend, Representative Dan Dillon. Other elected officials include, and all the way, came a long way, thank you. Dennis Baxley. Probably a little bit more work for the longest list. Representative Christine Hunskowski. I have a hard name with. He's a Parkland person. Well, you're my representative, and we have you down there. Patricia Williams and Kaylee Tuck. Palm Beach County Commissioners Greg Weiss and Matt Bernard. Dave Bernhardt, Administrative Assistant to the Palm Beach County Mayor Dave Kramer. Martin County Clerk of the Courts, Carolyn Timmermans. Carolyn, that's on you. We also have veterans in attendance, and if you would rise and so we can recognize you and thank you for your service. I have here, it says my boss is here, Greg Wallach, is chairman of the board. I don't see him. He's not here. Tom Foster is also not here, and Josh Fortin, are you here, Josh? But I do have one of my board members, my the vice chair of our board.
Dr. Bill Kent, if you
Dr. Bill Kent. See, if I didn't introduce him, I'd get fired, which is not fun. Former and future Olympians in attendance, Eric Allen Wunderlich, an American former competitive swimmer who represented the United States in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. Josh Shukowski, an up-and-coming swimmer who recently competed for the U.S. Olympic trials in Omaha. And our very own Coach Epstein, our head swimming coach for the Keiser University Seahawks. Additionally, we have leaders, state leaders, Mark Adler, Chief of Staff for Enterprise Florida. Mike. Dominic Calabro from Florida, Florida Tax Watch. He's attending virtually, so he's somewhere up there. The members of the Hispanic Chamber of Palm Beach County, the Central Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, and the Manatee Chamber of Commerce, welcome all of you. And then my distinct pleasure to introduce some of our campus presidents. These are the people who are operating our institutions and taking care of our students. And that is from this campus, the flagship campus, Dr. Gary Vaughn. Gary Olson is our Vice Chancellor of Online Education. Ryan Sagers from our Fort Lauderdale campus. Kimberly Lee from West Palm Beach campus. Linda Waterhouse at Naples campus. And Leslie Christoph from the Port St. Lucie campus. And we have presidents attending virtually, Dr. Michelle Morgan from Sarasota, Brandon Barhill from Tampa, Chuck Gibbons from Newport Richey, Lorraine Beach from Miami, Melody Ryder from Lakeland, Amy Teprovich from Fort Myers, and Fabian Fernandez in Clearwater. It is my distinct pleasure to turn this over to our Vice Chancellor of Community Relations and Student Advancement, Belinda Keiser. Yeah, she's also my wife. So.
Welcome, everyone. We're thrilled to have you with us. We do have Rowdy Gaines. I want you to know that Rowdy was on his way back from Tokyo. So he stopped, he filmed this video That's real support. So ladies and gentlemen, Rowdy Gaines.
Hi everybody, my name is Rowdy Gaines, three-time Olympic gold medalist and just coming back from calling my 8th Olympic Games for NBC for the sport of swimming. I want to thank all of you for all your support in building the brand new Olympic pool at Keiser University's flagship residential campus in West Palm Beach, Florida. This will be an incredible asset to all those aspiring Olympians, future national swimmers, and all the amazing young children we have in our community. It will also be that very important asset that will inspire and give that confidence and encourage those that have that healthy competition and of course that life-saving skill of learning how to swim. I want to thank Bill Kent and everybody with Every Child a Swimmer for that important legislation so all of our children have that life-saving skill of being able to learn how to swim. I want to invite all of you April 1st, 2022. Put it on your calendar so we can all join together in welcoming this pool to our friendly society. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rowdy. So folks, I want to thank a couple other folks that are part of Dr. Keiser's cabinet. So our COO, Peter Cressito, sir, if you would stand, thank you for everything. Joseph Baratinelli, by the way, they both live in Martin County, our CFO. Jim Waldman, our legal counsel. Jim, if you would stand. And we did have another elected official join us, Commissioner Greg Weiss. Commissioner, if you're here, sir. Hey, I see him. Okay, right here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So folks, this is a very special day. And first of all, we want to say thank you. We were very fortunate to see that Every Child a Swimmer was passed this year in the legislature. And this is one of the most important things we can do. So to every elected official, we are thankful for your support. This will help us tremendously provide a safer environment, because when you look at Florida, we're so fortunate to be here, right? We're surrounded by beautiful water. It was really surprising for me to learn that about half of Americans say that they either can't swim or don't have all the basic swimming skills. And this comes from Florida Tax Watch, Dominic Calabro's group. And then very unfortunately, that unintentional drowning deaths of children occur because of lack of swimming in the age category of 1 to 4. So folks, as we build this beautiful Olympic-sized pool and aquatic center, after 45 years of being in the state of Florida and being an integral part of talent development, we will continue our service to others through this effort. So the aquatic-sized pool will also allow us to host swim meets. And what you heard earlier, Rowdy Gaines, Dara Torres have said that Palm Beach is a great place to practice and they need some other facilities. So we're going to help them, right? So this is going to be a tremendous boost for many different reasons, to continue to be a community resource, to be a place where we can have senior citizens, adults, and children learn the basic life skills of swimming. Let me also say to you that we all know that together we fought through this situation with COVID-19. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you to each and every one of you, to Jeanette Nunes, our Lieutenant Governor, to our other cabinet member, the Fire Marshal, because as we look at the state of Florida, folks, everybody wants to move here. Am I exaggerating? Lots of people want to move here, right? And that is wonderful. And so as we move forward, what I can share with you is that Keiser University will continue to be part of the service and making sure that the talent that's needed, that the jobs that are created, that we have the folks on the front line to be able to take care of all of us. Let me also share with you that during this time that Sherry Olson, Sherry, would you stand please, Dr. Olson, the head of our online division, because we're pretty much campus-based, lent her expertise to 80 different universities across the country. Even folks the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame, reached out because they wanted some assistance with online, and we were happy to help. But this aquatic center will be a place to greet others, to meet, for our athletes to mentor others, and a wonderful place that they'll be able to call home. Now, I'd like to take a moment and say thank you to our first responders. And first of all, to thank again, Florida Fire Marshal House to stand and be recognized. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. And all other first responders in our audience today, will you please stand? We have many. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your service and your commitment to all of us. I'd like to take a moment and to introduce you to each of the speakers today who traveled to be with us. So first, Lieutenant Governor Nunes. The first Hispanic Lieutenant Governor for the state of Florida, who has courageously led our state with a vision and service for all Floridians. Florida Fire Marshal House, I think we introduced you about 3 times. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. George Lindley, CEO of the Palm Beach Sports Commission. George, if you would stand, please. Steve Policiner, President of Good Karma Brands at ESPN West Palm Beach, always energetic. Steve. Dale Hedrick, CEO of Hedrick Brothers Construction. Thank you, Dale. Sean Dempsey, who works there as well. Sean. Thank you, sir. Hedrick's Construction. Dr. Bill Kent, who serves on our board of trustees and the author of Every Child a Swimmer. Sir, if you would stand. And again, big shout out to all the elected officials to our great state for recognizing that it's not a mandate, but that we're going to work diligently to make sure that children have the resources and the information so that they learn how to swim. And we'd like to thank Speaker Sprouse and also President Simpson for their leadership during this time. Our co-chairs have worked diligently right here in Palm Beach County, and I'm telling you, they worked tirelessly because we kicked this concept off about 7 months ago, and they've never lost the energy, the vision, and the commitment to this effort. And the first person I'd love to introduce is no stranger to all of you, and that is Yvonne Boyce. Yvonne Boyce, our co-chair. And Tom DeRita. Tom. So it is with deep gratitude that we appreciate everything that you do. And we ask you to please continue to stay involved with us. This is really just the beginning. In a short amount of time, under Gary Vaughn's leadership, we've been able to expand our reach to our students, but also to help them build the skills to build a brighter future for themselves. Please welcome with me the Lieutenant Governor of Florida, Jeanette Nunes.
Good afternoon. Oh, come on, we can do better than that. Good afternoon. It's a great day. I want to thank Belinda for that kind introduction. And I really want to thank Keiser University for what they do for our community, for our state. The opportunity for so many students to walk through these doors and be able to earn a living, to forge a career. I think that's something that you all play an integral part in, and we appreciate everything you do. As you know, Florida is a beautiful destination. We have warm weather, beautiful beaches, natural springs, pristine lakes and rivers. And with that, obviously, comes concerns for parents. I myself am a mother of 3. I understand how challenging it is to make sure that your kids are safe. But that's why Keiser stepped up. That's why our elected officials stepped up, to be able to bring something like the Aquatic Center. And so it is a privilege for me to be here. And I thank you for doing that. So again, I want to thank Keiser for hosting this event. I want to thank all of the community leaders that are here, the elected officials, my former colleagues. I see some of you in the audience. We really work together, and I think that that's something that speaks volumes about the Florida legislature, and now in my capacity as lieutenant governor. There are so many issues that are nonpartisan, and this is absolutely one perfect example of that. And so again, as you know, here in Florida, with the beautiful weather that we have, you have opportunities to swim, to boat, to float, practically year round. And so with that, many families obviously understand the importance of teaching their children swim safety, of making sure that their children can enjoy the beautiful waterways. Unfortunately, as was mentioned already, tragically, drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death among children from ages 1 to 5. And what's more, according to the Florida Department of Health, in the first 3 months of 2021 alone, 19 children have lost their lives due to drowning. And that is a statistic that no one here is proud of. And that is something that we seek to change each and every day. So with that, we understand the importance of what Keiser is doing. And I think the legislators that sponsored this important piece of legislation, they're committed to keeping our children safe. Not just those kids that can afford swim lessons, but all of our children, especially in a community like South Florida, where we have so many children from diverse backgrounds. We want to make sure that we provide each and every individual the opportunity to learn, because we know it's critical to ensure Floridians understand swim safety. We partner with over 140 organizations throughout the state to reach communities and families, to provide them with the tools and the knowledge to stay water smart and to prevent drowning. And some of those partners include Water Smart Florida Coalition, Safe Kids Florida Coalitions, the Florida Alliance of YMCAs, Ounce of Prevention, and the Department of Children and Families. The main initiative works to educate parents, caregivers, and communities about drowning risks and prevention strategies, along with how to be safe in and around the water. We know it just takes a second. You've seen the headlines, the tragedies that could easily be avoided. And for me, again, as a mom, that's something that I'm committed and very passionate about. So the campaign encourages families and communities to ensure that they're focusing on supervision. What are the barriers? What are the emergency preparedness steps you need to take when enjoying Florida's waters? And while drowning is the leading cause of unintentional injury-related deaths for children under 5, we must not only focus on children. We must not only focus on children because we understand that it affects even teenagers and adults. And I think you heard Belinda share some of those statistics. In 2019, among children up to 9 years of age, Florida had the highest unintentional drowning death rate of 3.28 per 100,000 individuals. Florida also ranked 5th in the US among unintentional drowning for those 17 years and younger. And for adults over the age of 18, Florida ranked 4th in the United States for unintentional drowning. Again, not statistics we're proud of, which is why Keiser has stepped up and is part of the solution. And this year, the legislature passed and Governor DeSantis signed into law Senate Bill 1028 that'll help parents prevent drownings, help parents connect them with life-saving resources, and allow for public schools to also be part of the solution, to provide parents with information on the role that swimming lessons play in water safety education. And we look forward to seeing the schools implement this by the start of the 2022 school year. And we know that best practices to protect children from drowning, those are important, but also education is key to preventing tragedies. And our schools serve as a resource to be able to allow them to prevent this terrible tragedy. So again, I want to thank Keiser University for their investment. I want to thank the legislators that are here on stage and those in the audience for putting this as a priority. There's a lot of things that get prioritized during session. As we know, dealing with COVID, that took up a lot of time this year, and so many other important issues that were addressed. But this is a priority, making sure our children are safe. Our children are our most precious assets, our most precious resources. So we want to make sure that we work together. Keiser University has stepped up. So many people that are involved here with this initiative, and we want to thank them for doing everything they can to provide this wonderful community resource and keeping our children safe. Thank you all very much.
It's my pleasure now to introduce the Gail Hendrick, CEO of Hendrick Brothers Construction, Tom DeRita, co-chair and CEO of Resource Group, and Yvonne Boyce, co-chair, Fugazi International Travel, to talk about their vision for the KU Aquatic Center and Olympic Pool.
Well, we are thrilled to be here and be a part of this. We already introduced Sean Denice, but I'd also like to introduce our president, Eric Kimball. He's sitting in the back, and also our vice president of pre-construction services, Sean Burney. So we have a great team at Hendrick Brothers. I grew up in this community. Really grateful that you're using a local contractor here, and I was driving down this road before this place existed, and I'm excited about the unlocking the vision of this place and what it can be. And we're glad to be a part of it. We'll be using the latest technology to develop all the 3D modeling so that you, the community, and Keiser University is getting exactly what they think they're going to get. There will be no surprises. We'll bring it in on budget and on schedule, and we're thrilled to be a part of this. So thank you very much.
And now Yvonne Boyce and Tom DeRita are two co-chairs. Yvonne. Thank you, each and every one of you, for being here today. You have no idea how grateful we are, because really and truly, this is a project that you really want to be involved in. For children up to the age of 14, drowning is the second leading cause of unintentional death. And for every child who dies from drowning, another 8 need emergency care from fatal drowning opportunities. In South Florida, where we are surrounded by water in many forms, our environment is a potential hazard for too many children. In the past, other organizations have tried to make this, excuse me. In the past, other organizations have tried to make strides to help our young non-swimmers, but not until today has there been an initiative of this magnitude. Thanks to the extraordinary collaboration between Keiser University, the Swimming Hall of Fame, and the incredible foresight of Governor DeSantis, we now have a plan and the legislation to back it. This is a game changer. Let's give them a round of applause. This program requires us to ascertain from every kindergartner in Palm Beach County if they can swim. If they cannot, they will have the opportunity to learn for free at this magnificent pool. As the stark reality is, we are in a race to save more families from needless death and suffering. And just like a swimming relay that requires teamwork, we need to keep handing off the baton over to more and more people to spread the word about this important program, to raise the required funds, and to make this effort so successful that it is replicated not only statewide, but nationwide. Looking out of this room, I can see the voices, the messengers who can make it happen. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go for the gold and become a role model for the world. Let's get the word out, let the community know how to get involved and how to donate. I'm sure you will all see the website, aquaticcenter.kaiseruniversity.edu. Let the community know how to get involved and how to save lives. Thank you very much.
I always hate to follow somebody who's good looking and smart, but here we go. We are here today to know the facts. Fatal child drownings in swimming pools and spas involve children. The ages have been mentioned many times. To combat these tragic statistics, we as a community must work together. Keiser University wants to help. That's why we are dedicated to this project. And I want to point out 3 facts. 356 pool and spa drownings are children from ages 8 to 14. 77% of drownings involve children younger than age 5. These are startling facts. Children of color between the ages of 5 and 19 are 5.5 times more likely to drown. Every child is a swimmer. Won't you be a part of our dream? Join us today. This is the most important thing that can happen to our community. We want this to be a community event. We are going to share this with the community because that's what Keiser University does. Thank you.
So thank you very much, our co-chairs. And so we wanted to share with you a little bit about our vision. But last but not least, if you would turn your attention to the screen, many of you will recognize this lovely lady here who is my granddaughter. Her name is Belina, and you're going to see one of her first swimming lessons. Please indulge us. So important. And folks, as we shared, we are looking at a 50-meter Olympic-sized pool, 25 yards wide. We're also looking at an aquatic center that will be a place that athletes can mentor, they can train, they can be involved in competitions. So as Tom and Yvonne have said, this is about us. So please, in any way, step forward and help us. Let's make this an incredible success, not only for this community, but for our state. And let me also say that we have other advisory board members, Pam Roush, Maureen Wilt, and Eric Szilagyi have been one of our first sponsors. So thank you so very much, FPNL. Let's give them applause. And a little more about Dr. Kent later. But again, this will be world-class opportunity and a location for all to enjoy. It is now my honor to introduce someone who doesn't need an invitation, part of the cabinet, Florida Fire Marshal Harris.
Thank you, Chancellor and Vice Chancellor and special guests. My honor to be here. I'm not actually on the cabinet, but I serve the Chief Financial Officer, Jimmy Petronas, who's on the cabinet with Governor DeSantis and the rest of the cabinet. And so it's my honor to serve as the director of the Division of State Fire Marshal. So I'm kind of like the fire chief for the state of Florida. And I'm a former fire chief from Sarasota and Longboat Key. And so I'm very familiar with the challenges of safety in our waterways and our swimming pools. And I'd also like to recognize I have our district chief, Mike Long, here from our office here, right here in West Palm Beach. District Chief Long is in charge of fire prevention and safety for this whole southeast region of Florida on behalf of CFO Petronas and myself. And David Woodside, the Assistant Chief of Palm Beach County, please stand. And Chief Woodside also serves another role. He's the president of the Florida Fire Marshals and Inspectors Association for the state of Florida. And one of their sections is the public safety educators for fire and life safety education. So he was able to be here with us today to hear about this monumentous event and to engage the fire rescue professionals. And I really am glad there's other fire rescue and law enforcement here. And I was quickly welcomed by your law enforcement. You have good security on campus, so I was proud of that too. But, you know, I'm glad that you showed how we can teach children to swim, because the tragedy is, with 47 years in the service and also as an EMT and paramedic, I've seen too many that didn't make it. And when we can respond sometimes in 3 or 4 minutes, but by the time somebody calls 911 and everything is processed, it takes a little extra time to get fire rescue and law enforcement on scene. So if there's not somebody there that knows how to swim, that can rescue a child or our senior citizens who could get in trouble in our oceans, our beaches, in large swimming pools and the like. So let's prevent those tragedies by getting behind this tremendous public education effort. Because as firefighter and medics, Tim Beatty's here, we work together at Sarasota Fire Department, and he's your very own Keiser Fire Rescue Director. And these are tragic emergencies. And so we need everyone in the community to be able to swim safely. So if somebody does get in trouble, there's help there right away. And also, hopefully, you know how to do CPR and use the automatic external defibrillator if one of our senior citizens gets into a heart trouble or whatever, possibly while swimming or whatever, needs rescued right away, because again, it's going to take several minutes sometimes for our personnel to get there. But I'd like to thank Governor DeSantis and Lieutenant Governor Nunes for their leadership, and to have a House and Senate come out with a leadership here. I'm proud to be a fire chief and a director of State Fire Marshal's office in the state of Florida. I can tell you that. Thank you. Thank you to the elected officials. Thank you. I do also want to mention that those of us in public safety, we constantly know that there's many challenges in our community. There's many areas that we need to learn. And so fire safety, life safety, and swimming safety are so very vital. And we hope that we can all work together to support Keiser University. I'm honored to be here, and I came from Tallahassee by way of Sarasota Braden, and I did stop for the weekend, but it's well worth my time, and I'm honored to be with such a distinguished slate of guests and speakers here today. God bless you. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure now to introduce a friend, the chairman of the International Swimming Hall of Fame, the CEO of Team Horner, a multifaceted pool distribution and pool everything. We call him the pool guy. So it's my pleasure to introduce the pool guy, Dr. William Kemp.
Thank you. I'd kind of like to put some historical context on every child swimmer, but first I'd like to recognize Belinda Keiser for being an inspiration for the legislation that happened. I'm not an experienced political guy, and so I went to Belinda, and Belinda introduced me to Dominic Calabro at Florida Tax Watch, and the rest was a bunch of other both public servants and lobbyists who really helped guide the process in Tallahassee. I must tell you, it's an interesting process. In 1865, a group of local business leaders in Fort Lauderdale petitioned FINA. FINA is the global organization that controls all competitive aquatic events, and for the right to form a museum and a Hall of Fame. And that's where we've been since 1965. Interestingly, on the very first page of the charter for the Swimming Hall of Fame, it says, every child a swimmer. So that's the spiritual mission. And of course, we all know that water is essential for life. And you wouldn't know that children who can swim actually perform better in school than children who can't swim. That's an interesting statistic from some research. And for seniors like myself, it's the fountain of youth. It'll improve both your memory and your health if you get in the water. The new legislation that's been passed in its first year, which was remarkable, has long-term strategic impact on not just drowning rates, but really the health of the society here in Florida. Since less than half of Americans know how to swim, that's an interesting statistic. Exactly 1 year ago, right now, we had, thanks for the Tax Watch, we had a survey of voters statewide here in Florida. I kind of piggybacked a survey about the voting patterns here in Florida for the presidential election, and 90% of the voters supported the idea that every child should learn to swim. 90. So we very seldom agree at that level on anything. So the good news is the legislation that passed has no financial impact. It doesn't require the schools to teach every child to swim. We wish that was possible, but we know it's not politically feasible. But another interesting fact, if a child learns to swim, he or she has an 88% less chance of drowning throughout the rest of their life. So that kind of validates the whole idea. So we think it's a basic life skill and it's a parental responsibility. There were about 10 people who really helped me since I'm a neophyte in the world of Tallahassee politics. And I've got several of them here. Senator Berman was the first sponsor of the bill that's now called Every Child a Swimmer. And fortunately, she has received a plaque like this already. And my first House sponsor was Representative Dan Daly from Coral Springs. Thank you. We think this bill has, again, long-term impact on the health of the state of Florida. I've got another one of my sponsors here, Representative Jim Mooney from Key Largo. This would have never happened without the people that I'm recognizing today. The final one, there were several lobbyists that really helped me by guiding and suggesting things. And one of them is Tom DeRita. So Tom DeRita, would you mind coming up here? So that's kind of it. This bill, we hope, will save hundreds and even thousands of lives as time moves forward. So thank you all for your support, and thank you, Dr. Keiser, for your support of this in this project.
So folks, Dr. Kent is always a person who gives credit to others, but I want you to know that he truly led the effort, giving credit to others along the way, never tiring, always focused on making our world better. So Dr. Bill Kent, thank you for supporting the dreams of present and future athletes and fighting for the health and safety of families in Florida. And so now I'd like you to hear from Steve Pollitziner, President of Good Karma Brands. Steve, if you would approach the microphone there, and George Lindley, Executive Director of the Palm Beach County Sports Commission. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon. Great to see everybody. Dr. Keiser, Mrs. Keiser, thanks for having me and including us. Mrs. Keiser called me energetic earlier, so don't worry, I'm not going to make everybody stand up and do the wave as was recommended or any other sort of pool-like puns. I spoke to a great swimming coach, of course, Keiser Adam, and I asked you to have everybody get up and do like a backstroke motion to see what kind of talent we have here, but apparently most of your eligibility has expired, so he's not looking for any additional talent right now. You've heard a little bit about the Every Child a Swimmer, which is certainly where this initiative emanates. And then we've also, we saw Rowdy, and we just finished watching some of the accomplishments from great swimmers all over the world. And then there's also that piece in the middle, because George is going to talk about those swimmers all over the world and how that all keys into Palm Beach County. And then, of course, every child is a swimmer. Can't think of something that's more important, particularly all the statistics that we've heard today. But then there's also that piece in the middle. I look at Josh from King's Academy, and I think about all the work that he has done to get to the position that he is in. And that's really what, that's the other piece, what this is about. And this creates now the opportunity, because while we may watch every 4 years and be able to see some, amazing accomplishments, the discipline that it takes to get there and the everyday commitment, and that isn't possible without a community that invests in a community that provides facilities for its constituents to be able to do that. So to me, that is such a great thing what this is about. And in our role with ESPN 1063 and WPTV and all the media here, we're looking for those great stories to share and for those great stories to cover, because not everybody gets to go to that grand stage of the Olympics, but they all now have chances, have been bettered by the opportunities that they have because of the creation of facilities like this. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks. It's always a tough act to try to follow Steve. ESPN 106.3 is great partners of our sports commission, and I'm honored to be here at Keiser University, who's an incredible partner to the Palm Beach County Sports Commission and to Palm Beach County. And just so you know, our role at the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, our mission is to develop tourism through sport. And we achieve that mission by recruiting sports events to the county, by hosting events, and in some cases, creating or developing events, all with an effort to bring in visitors from outside the area to create that economic impact. And I saw Commissioner Weiss was here at least earlier, and Commissioner Bernard, if he was here. Palm Beach County is one of the premier sports destinations in the state of Florida, and it's because of the great leadership that we have at the top with our Board of County Commissioners and our County Administrator, Virginia Baker. I'm also pleased because we have a board of directors that gives our sports commission advice, credence, gives us direction on how we should attack the sports travel industry. And Dr. Vaughn sits on our board. Susan Guinan is a board member of the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, and Glenn Allen is one of my teammates at the Sports Commission. And Keiser University is truly one of the great tourism partners, an economic development engine for this county. I'm grateful to be in the presence of the Keiser family and the institution that you built here, the power that you've delivered this county. Dr. Vaughn is truly one of the best university presidents in the United States. Chris Walger is one of the most talented athletic directors that I've seen. I think he's one of the best in our state, if not the nation. And we have talent right here in this university that has allowed our sports commission to host some of the nation's most influential events. This institution has created a marriage for Palm Beach County and the NAIA, the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. 250 schools make up the NAIA that compete in 21 different conferences. 77,000 athletes consist under the NAIA umbrella. And those athletes vie for a chance to compete in at least 1 out of 27 national championships. The NAIA is a powerful organization, and because of Keiser University, we've hosted some incredible tourism generating events that provide great community. It's a great community asset, entertainment for a local community, but they've created a strong economic impact for this county. We had 5 years where we hosted 6 national championships, 4 NAIA men's soccer national championships, 2 women's golf championships, that created thousands upon thousands of hotel room nights while generating almost $10 million in direct visitor spending. This university and our partnership with this university will lead to a national volleyball invitational just in a couple of weeks. That will also be a great economic boon for the county. We've hosted a invitational for both NAIA and NCAA women's basketball teams in the winter. That has been a great economic benefit. And this year in April, there were 3 NAIA playoff games because of the success that Keiser University is having on the field between football, women's volleyball, and men's soccer. It's pretty powerful stuff. And it's not only great for our local community, but it's a huge economic driver. As we look towards this aquatic complex, that's another venue, another asset, both community and from an economic development position that will now live on the footprint of Keiser University's campus. And with the great success that we've seen here at Keiser from their swim teams, national championship swim teams, there's no doubt in my mind that we could add swimming to the list of national championships that will belong to this county because of this university. In addition to those championship events, I also believe that such a venue could be a stage for not only NAIA teams, but NCAA teams, junior college teams, high school prep schools that would travel down here during the winter time frame and train and prepare for their seasons. We see that already at some of our other aquatic facilities that exist in this county. And we talk about the Olympic spirit. Our county has hosted Olympic training camps, Olympic qualifiers. And if this venue as it will be built to Olympic specs, there's no doubt that we could have Olympic-related events in the Palm Beaches. So from an economic development standpoint, from a community asset standpoint, such an aquatic facility would go a long way into continuing our great reputation as one of Florida's premier sports destinations. And with that, I am honored to be here. I'm excited about the future, and we're looking forward to continuing our great partnership with Keiser University. And I'll tell you that Learfield Cup is one of the best awards in collegiate athletics. I don't think we could say enough about what that means for our county and obviously for the university and the student athletes. It is a monumental award, and I'm proud to be here on a campus that is holding that award right now. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Mr. Lindley. I wanted to recognize a few others. Mitch Talonfield, formerly on the board for Keiser University, and to also recognize people that have joined us virtually briefly, President Maria Mead from Tallahassee, and thank you again for the leadership of Chief Rich Delatoro of Port St. Lucie Police Department. Thank you for being with us, sir. And also Chief Nate Spurn, St. Lucie Fire Department. Thank you as well. So here shortly, we'll be taking a couple questions from the press, and I saw President Kim Lee's hand go up. But last but not least, our president of Flagship Campus, please welcome Dr. Gary Vaughn.
Wow, I'm happy to stop after George Lindley talked, really. But anyway, thank you all for being here. We're one of the exciting things about Keiser University is over 90% of the students that come to this university and each and every one of the 20 across the state stay in the neighborhood and work and earn their income and raise their children in every neighborhood they grow up in. So it's a remarkable thing for a university to build and develop students within the community that serve the community. And there's so much talk about the kids that we're talking about. I want to share something that anybody that knows me knows I'm going to say that. This is a quote on the back of my business card, which says, "Children are the living messages we send to a time we will not see." And each and every one of us is building that little message in a bottle, kids, grandkids, whatever I got. And those kids are going to wash ashore someplace learning the lessons we taught them, and they're going to share them with others the rest of their lives as well. It's a remarkable one. I've had it on my fridge for 25 years, and my kids know it by heart. I'd like to share with you one of our children here. Cameron Hudson is a swimming student here, an extraordinary student. And I want to tell you, I want her to share with you her story that just happened recently here in the county. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Cameron Hudson, and I am a Keiser University Health and Human Performance senior and a member of the Seahawks swim team. Recently, I had a chance to take part in an ocean rescue while serving as a lifeguard for the town of Palm Beach. I am thankful that my passion for swimming and experience as a competitive Seahawk swimmer helped prepare me for that day. As our Keiser University swim team continues to shine, I am truly excited about the fundraising campaign for the Aquatic Center. This facility will not only serve as the future home of the Seahawks swim team, but will become a gathering place and communities resource used to host competitive swimming events and teach the important skills of swimming to children and families. I want to thank Keiser University, Coach Adam Epstein, the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, State Fire Marshal Julius Hallis, our state leaders, and all of you for your support. Because of you, lives will be saved. I look forward to meeting you in person at the fundraiser this coming spring.
A great story that she just told me this week that she's going to graduate and become an EMT and rescue more kids. So it's a really fabulous story. Secondly, I talked to you about that, which George mentioned a little earlier about the Learfield IMG Directors Cup, which is a once a year national championship recognizing the best school in the United States in their conference. In the NAIA, they do it with the NC2A. And the most remarkable thing is not that we've been in the top 4 the last few years, but this, for the first time ever, Keiser University was recognized as the #1 school in the United States. And it was a remarkable accomplishment. We have our it's humbling to think about that the things that have happened here. I do want to recognize our athletic director, Chris Swager. Chris, stand up for a second. I know you don't want to. We have some extraordinary coaches. I'd introduce them, but I know some are standing, some Adam's in the back here, 3 national championships in 4 years. He's a reigning national champion. So I'd like to give you a round of applause. And I know there's all sorts of you out there. Sorry if I don't recognize you, but the thing about this is none of these things happen in a lab. They happen each and every day when people make a commitment to changing people's lives. And that's exactly what happens at Keiser University every single day. So let's look at this video we put together for the Learfield Cup. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it a lot. Go ahead.
2020, 2021. Season unlike any other. But we faced difficulties off the field, on the field, we didn't let it stop us. We pushed on and played for one another. The end result, the most successful season in program history. 3 national championships. Lacrosse champions. 6 7 championships. 7 players of the year. 3 coaches of the year. 120 all-conference members, and 84 NAIA All-Americans. In the classroom, we achieved an overall department GPA of 3.0. Total of 115 academic all-conference members, a program record 76 NAIA Scholar athletes, and 14 NAIA Scholars. We got it all on. We captured our first ever Learfield Cup. So let's celebrate the 2020-2021 season and gear up for an even bigger year at Keiser University.
Yeah, these are the stories that kids carry through their lives forever. These are the stories. Mrs. Keiser.
Folks, we're ready to take a couple questions from the press, but I just want to quickly say thank you to the folks that brought you all here today that were part of helping. So if Mary Ann, you can come up front with me. Here at Keiser University, we believe in pursuing our dreams and securing and fighting for a good education, but also having a little fun. I don't think they wanted to do this, but anyway, Mary Ann, if you would lead us, please, go ahead.
Mrs. Keiser came up with this wonderful chair. 1, 2, 3. Keiser Seahawks fly and swim.
Thank you, TJ Long, Josh Sanchez, Jeff Low Liberty, Ann Ganucci, Wesley Solar, Damon Roberson, Holly Tishfield, Jean Socio, Susie McCreary, Marianne Lee Primer, Andrew McTighe, Jacqueline Benary, Caesar Esplanada, and many, many more. Brandon Strasberg and our IT folks, James Harrigan and Kurt. Thank you very much. And we're concluding our program. We'd be happy to take 1 or 2 questions from the press. Any questions that you would like to ask us? I know that you've heard a lot today. Yes, sir. Please, would you please approach the microphone so we can hear you? Right here in the middle, sir. Thank you. And please tell us who you're with.
Larry Keller with Palm Beach Post. Can you explain when the fundraising campaign will begin, or if it has, when you hope it will finish, how much you want to raise, when you hope the pool will be built, and the aquatic center will be built?
And your name again, sir?
Larry Keller.
Mr. Keller, thank you so very much. Yes, the fundraising has begun. I want you to know that FP&L was one of our first sponsors, and Dr. Bill Kent has provided a matching donation of $500,000 to kick this off. We hope to break ground within the next year and a half, and the total budget for this is roughly $8 million. Anything else, sir?
Where do this trades community facilitate people outside Keiser will use? Where do if students and athletes want to train in Olympic sized pool in Palm Beach County now? Are there some pools existing?
Yes, there are. In fact, the YMCA is Lake Lytle. I understand that's not a lake, folks. You know, the area of Lake Lytle. They're building an Olympic-sized pool and an aquatic center. I don't want to speak for them, but here's what I can tell you. Dr. Vaughn, do you want to join me? We're talking about baseball and we were, please.
We talked about this earlier. Lake Lytle's building a new Olympic facility as well, which we're very excited about. And when as I sit on the sports commission and George Lindley and I talk about this, it's much like if you all remember the building of the ballpark of the Palm Beaches here down the road a couple of years ago. You know, people said, wait a minute, do we need another ballpark? We have 2, we have 1 already in Jupiter. And we thought to ourselves, so they built it anyway. And what has happened is baseball has exploded in this community. We even had the pre-Olympic trials for baseball. So we think this is a very similar activity that's taking place in the community. Lake Lytle will build an extraordinary Olympic facility to serve not only the Olympics, but the community leaders. And we'll do the same. And we will, by doing those 2 things, compound the opportunity to serve this community and the world at large. We think it's really going to happen.
Can I ask one more question?
Besides that.
Sure.
So there's a lot of talk about the legislation, every child is a swimmer. I'm not clear on how this pool relates to that. By that I mean, will parents enable their children to learn to swim, be able to use this pool, and if so, how they go about doing that?
So it is our dream and part of our mission to be of service. And obviously we need to build the pool so that we can even be more of service, not only to our athletes, but to the greater community. We plan to be another resource to help children and adults swim. So right now, it's just a matter of getting started. And the Olympic-sized pool can provide a lift so that younger children would be able to learn to swim safely.
I'm sorry, I think it was Rowdy Gaines, that video of Vincent.
April 1st, 2022. It's not like a grand opening, if you will. What,
April,
right? Or-
April 1st, 2022, we do have a website. Can we, right there at the top? Aquatic Center, my eyes are not the same, aquaticcenter.kaiseruniversity.edu. But we are fundraising. And what Rowdy was sharing with you is that we're going to have a dinner here to even celebrate more of our efforts. And we're asking for each of you to reach out to your friends, people that you know have an interest, and maybe some of those that don't, and get them to attend, invite them to attend this dinner to continue the process and the momentum.
When will that be? The dinner? You have a date there?
April 1st, 2022.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? President Lee, did you have a question? Both children and seniors in the community. So kind of related to that, how do you see that kind of being carried out? Thank you so much, President Lee. Coach Epstein, if you'd approach.
Thank you for your question. The facility will be open to the community. We're partnering with Every Child a Swimmer and basically an open resource for an aquatic center to be able to help children, senior citizens, and anything and everything that we can do to help save lives. Thank you.
We would join with other community resources. There are two folks today and you weren't able to see them, but we had about 30 people, I understand, virtually that joined us throughout the state of Florida and members of the Drowning Prevention Coalition. So we plan to work with other community leaders as a total effort to address this challenge and opportunity. Well, folks, it's been wonderful to have you. Please reach out to us at any time. We're very available. We are delighted that we can kick this off with your help. And I know that our future is brighter together because we all care. Take care. God bless.